And don't want to fix it alone? Call RVFix to get virtual assistance from a certified technician today.
Hi, this is Kevin with RVFix. Today we're going to go over if your Dometic 300 series toilet isn't holding water, a couple things to check for. The proper PPE for working on your toilets on your trailer, you're going to want to have some gloves, keep your hands nice and clean, some safety glasses to keep anything out of your eyes, and the last thing is a wrench so that we can get to the mounting nuts if we need to remove the toilet. The one we're working on today on this Dometic, we're using a 7/16. There are some toilets that those mounting nuts might be a 1/2 inch, so just be aware that it might not be a 7/16. Some of these toilets, you will have more access to be able to work on things without having to remove the toilet. Today we're going to go through removing the toilet just to show, because not every instance you'll be able to work on them mounted on there. Alright, so we'll get started. The very first thing, you want to make sure that your water is turned off. We have no water pressure, city water, or water pump turned on. You can always open up a faucet or something as well just to relieve extra pressure. Try to make less of a mess for ourselves when we're getting in here. Alright, we get our gloves on. And on this specific unit, we do have a water shut off as well. Not all the trailers are going to have something like that, but if you do have it, it is nice just to turn that water off so we're, again, making less of a mess for ourselves. Our water lines, so again, on this one, we just have one that we can do by hand on here. It has nice big wings on that threaded fitting, so we can just unscrew that off of there. Some of these will be a little bit different style. Just know that everything on these is normally going to be hand tightened. You might need something to help loosen it up with, maybe a pair of channel locks. You just want to be careful not to strip out the plastic on these guys, but they shouldn't be way overly tight. So we're just going to take that water line off of there. And that's as far as that's going to go right there. It's just a hard PEX, but it is loosened off of there. And then we're going to come to our mounting bolts. So they'll have these little plastic covers. There'll be one on each side of your toilet, and those little plastic covers just pop off of there. You might need a little screwdriver or something to put under there just to help pop those off, but they're just push-on plastic covers. And then we have our mounting bolts that come up through the toilet. And we're just going to get on there and loosen those up. And we come to our other side, take our cap off, and we'll just do the same thing. Alright, now we have both of the nuts off of our bolts. Then we can go ahead and lift this toilet up and right off of its base right there. So on the back of our toilet, you can see we do have a data tag. They do put these kind of on the back out of the way. This is important for getting parts for your specific toilet. Again, like I said, this is a Dometic 300 series, but you can see right here it has a model and there's a 311. So if it was a 310 or a 320, whatever model or series that is, it'll let you know. Even if you have a different brand of toilet, 9 times out of 10, that data tag is going to be on the back or somewhere around that base, just to make sure you're getting the proper parts for your specific toilet. One thing we'd like to take a look at if our toilet bowl is not holding water on our Dometic style toilet. So you can see right down here we have our white ball that moves when we flush. And that actually seals up against this ball seal right there. So if we're having troubles with this guy holding water, there's a good chance we're needing a new ball seal. And this actually just comes off from right inside of there. Just comes out just like that. Dometic sells replacements for these as well. If you end up with any tearing or anything, it's just not holding water on you, pick up a replacement. And it's just going to go back in just like how we just took it out. There's a lip. You can see on this there's a lip around there. That's what we're going to get lined up when we're getting in here. So we're just going to get the whole thing down into place. And then just kind of start working it with both hands until we feel that starting to sit on that lip inside of there. So once you get it all lined up on there, and you can feel when this thing is sitting in the correct place, just the lip where it sits on there. And if you let off the flush ball, you'll know you got it on there as well, because this is going to be making contact everywhere. if you're ending up with any gaps around any side of where that's sitting, the water's just going to leak back through there. So just takes a little bit of fendangling with the hands in there. You will want to make sure you don't drop that, because our toilet's sitting off of the mount right now, but if you're mounted on there, you might drop it down the hole in there. So just, you know, while you are messing with it, just make sure you're keeping it pinched at one point or the other to not let that fall down in there on you. One thing Dometic does recommend as well, if you need to, you can throw some petroleum jelly or something other like that. Just kind of helps when you put a brand new one on there, helping it seal up as well if it still seems like you're having any issues with the brand new one if it's dry on there. All right, now that we have our toilet back together, we're going to go ahead and show you a reinstall of this guy. So we're just going to take it, and you can see we're going to have our flange bolts that we mount to right there, and we're just going to take this guy and line it up with those holes. And there is a little bit of play on them, so if you get one side lined up, then usually you can come and get this other side a little bit easier. So now that I'm through this side, I started with that one through already. Oops. I'm going to take our washer first. Make sure you don't forget your washers on there. It just helps distribute when that's pinching down, distribute the force. I'm just getting that nut started on the bolt. Washer first, then our nut. And I'm just going to hand tighten these to the point where I cannot anymore. It's just going to speed up the reinstall instead of sitting there with the wrench. Okay, once we have those down far enough, we're just going to take our wrench and just start tightening those back up. Okay, so when we're tightening this back up, we don't want to just do one side just to the extreme tightness. We're just going to kind of start to snug them down and go back and forth on there. So I'm starting to feel a little bit more resistance on this one. So I'm just going to hop to my other side, start tightening that one down. Snug it down a little bit further than what I was feeling the resistance on that other side. We can come back over here and snug this one down a little bit. So once I have those pretty tight, I'm just using a stubby wrench, so there's not a lot of leverage. But I was really just feeling to the point where I could feel a lot of resistance while I'm trying to tighten that down. Because this is just plastic that we're mounting to. So you don't want to go too tight on all this stuff and break anything. But I mean, we can see now our toilet's on there nice and solid. We can't wobble it on the base. So like I said, you just want to have these snug down, nice and snug, to keep that toilet sealed to the floor. And then we're also just going to have your caps. Those just fit back over top of the bolts and just pop down on there on each side. And don't forget to hook your water line back up. We get that in place. Anytime you're doing these plastic fittings, it doesn't even have to be on the toilet. You always want to make sure that starts really easy. If you're starting and you're feeling a lot of resistance screwing any of these plastic fittings back together, you're probably going on there crooked, and it is not very hard to cross thread the threads on here or on this fitting itself. So said anytime you're getting them on there, it should start off very easy. And then again, like I said, most of the time you just need to hand tighten this. So we're just going to get it nice and snug as we can with our hands. And then we're going to turn our water back onto it. And then we just want to make sure to leak test everything and confirm that we don't have any leaks at the water valve, the toilet bowl's holding water, and we don't get any leaks coming out down around our base down here. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe.
Thanks for watching. If this video didn't solve your problem, don't worry. We're here to help. Give us a call at 1-844-66-RVFix. We'll diagnose your issue quickly with a certified technician on a video call, get any parts and warranty processed, and if needed, we'll coordinate a service center or mobile technician to get you fixed. We'll handle it all so you can get back to camping.